Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria Restart video. So, in today's video, guys, we are going to go over gear management. The 2x is over, and I just farmed a ton of gear. So, I figured I'd walk you through how I end up trying to, manage this stuff, what pieces I keep, what pieces I level up, all of that. Now, this might be not as clean as some of my other videos because I only get one shot at this. So I'm going to try and do the best I can to walk through this. But if I screw up, it's because I haven't really had the ability to edit. And I just wanted to walk you through my process as raw as it can get. Okay. So I think before the 2x event, I started with around 300 pieces of gear. So I got about 1,600 pieces to look through here. I'm expecting, as sad as this is, as truly sad as this is, I'm expecting only about, 10 to 30 pieces being keepable and leveled up. That's after I've rolled some of the pieces and then figured out if it's worth taking up to 15. I think whenever we cut through all of this stuff and just automatically get rid of a bunch of things, it's going to reduce a lot already. But in the end, like leveling stuff up is going to be tough. I did want to let you guys know, though, that when it came to the 2x, I only farmed Inferno Doki Doki, and then I farmed Health 4 of both Terramaton and Aurora. So I didn't even farm Inferno of the other stages. Reason being is I don't think I need a whole lot of gear in Terramaton. And Aurora is the main dungeon I farm outside of everything else. So I wanted to just farm a little bit more Doki Doki, try and get some of these Swift Raid pieces for one or two damage dealers. And then I'm basically going to move on to Aurora almost full time until another 2x comes around and I'll just farm Doki Doki again. And if I need to piece together some stuff, I'll farm Terramaton, off and on. So, moral of the story, it's okay to farm Health 4. All right, now let's get into this. Now, when it comes to the gear, okay, I think one of the easiest things to do after you've gone through a 2x event is to recycle through a few like piece modules here when it comes to the matrices because at this point in my account, and it might be different for you if you can't farm three matrix gear yet, okay? But for me, any of the 6 and 12 piece gear, not the 4, 8, 12 gear, just the 6-piece bonus and the 12-piece bonus gear, which is Momentum, Bloodbath, Time Weave, and Keen Eye. These four pieces, if I do not have a triple matrix piece of it, I get rid of it. At this point in my account, I need to be as efficient with my min maxing as possible. And keeping pieces of gear that are like 3 matrix or 2 matrix, it just does not make any sense for me. I need all of the efficiency bonuses that I can get. So if we have anything 2 matrix on all of this stuff, I got to get rid of it because it's just not going to be worth it. So 212 pieces of gear completely out the window, right? Which is a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, it's kind of needed. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're not even going to look at the other things. So that's one of the easiest things to get rid of. Now, when it comes to the other stuff, we have a couple of items here, like in the right side pieces of gear, where if you have a flat stat, you don't really want it. However, what ends up being still a okay piece of gear to keep the flat stat on is all of the Inferno specialized cores. Reason being is because all of these pieces end up being just really, really strong when it comes to their set bonus effect. So uh, even if we have a flat stat piece, it still might make sense, uh, to keep it because the abilities of these pieces of gear are still quite strong. Just when it comes to the speed and the additional attack for one piece of gear, right? So there's times where I might keep that piece. So we are going to get rid of these. We don't want to go through those yet. So the first thing that we'll do is we will look at basically everything that is not those pieces, and we will filter out all of the flat attack, flat HP, flat defense, and we'll go from there. So all of these pieces here, if we go down and we click flat HP, we click flat attack and flat defense. I don't want any of these pieces. So these are going to be all gone, even though they're triple matrix on some of them. We just don't want any of these pieces. They're not going to be worth any of it. So there's another 177 pieces just completely gone. So that's another easy way to do this. I don't know why I'm keeping that flat HP, and I don't know why I'm keeping this. So some people will say that when it comes to like bulwark and swift rush, it's okay to keep flat attack, flat HP, and flat defense. And that's like, I understand it. It's something that I don't completely disagree with. But at this point in my account, whenever I'm planning on really pushing PvP, and you're trying to min max everything for future content as well, because right now we know the PvE content's hard, but it's going to get even harder. And if I have a flat piece of Swift Rush gear or or Swift Ray gear where I'm just speed checking, I personally don't find that useful. I think a lot of people do, which is again okay. So once we get to this point, we've gotten rid of about 400 pieces of gear. Now, the next thing that I'll end up doing is I will look at the damage dealing uh, pieces of gear. So we got Harvest, Fury, Momentum, and Kenai. And like I said, I'm going to keep these specialized cores kind of off to the side for now. I don't need to worry about those yet. So I'm going to go through the top left piece, which is the fist or your helmets in this case. And I wanted to walk through a couple things here. So the helmets, in my opinion, you have to be you have to be the absolute stingiest with, because when it comes to your damage dealing pieces, the helmet is the one piece in on the left side that you can get attack percentage, speed, crit rate, and crit damage. You want all three or all four of those pieces ideally. There are cases where you're going to want effect accuracy, but it is for niche heroes. So when it comes to the matrix levels, because we've already gotten rid of all of the three or two matrix pieces on the set bonuses of 6 and 12, we will have some two-piece matrices in here for things like Onslaught and Harvest. That is perfectly fine because, as I mentioned in a prior video, you don't need all three-piece matrix modules for something like Harvest because uh, you only need eight bonuses, eight matrix bonus. So you can have two pieces of three matrix, and then you're allowed one piece that is a two matrix. So we still fit those in there. So let's check for our sub attributes here. Okay, so sadly, I had some kind of issue when I was recording trying to filter this stuff out. Uh, so I had made some edits and got rid of some gear and leveled up some stuff without people seeing. But basically, what I did was I went through my sub attributes. I looked at pieces that had three sub attributes, and I'm looking for speed, crit damage, and crit rate. And I'm rolling up to see if I can get attack percentage on here because, like I said, you need to be stingy with this stuff. So, flat HP is one of the other okay pieces, just as your fourth roll. But if I roll this up and it hits flat HP again, I have to get rid of the piece. So that's essentially what I did with these pieces that are locked. I rolled them up to 3. This one I have flat defense. I don't know why that was locked. That was probably locked prior. So we'll get rid of that. Not good enough. This other stuff, again, flat defense. Got to get rid of it. I don't know why I kept it. Flat HP, that's fine. This is ideally what you're rolling to a three-piece for. Something that I was mentioning in the video that did not work is I'm going to go through real quick the sub attributes that you can't get on these individual pieces. Because if you're looking for them, you're not going to get them. So, on your weapon or your fist modules, you cannot get effect resistance on these pieces. So effect res is not a sub attribute that you can get on your weapon or your fist module. You also cannot get defense percent and you cannot get HP percent. So you can get attack, speed, crit rate, crit damage. That's the ideal thing. But outside of that, effect accuracy is also nice. And then HP, flat HP is okay because a little bit of bulk on your damage dealers will help on the later stages. So those are the things that I was looking for. Now, when it comes to these transistors or the middle piece on your left side, this is your flat HP main stat. Here, you can get HP bonus, which is nice. You cannot get attack percentage. So on your damage gear, if you're looking for speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage, and you're trashing everything, quit doing that. You can't get it. You can get flat attack. So if you're really trying to just maximize your damage output, flat attack here is okay. But again, I think HP percentage is an okay thing to have as a fourth substat on these pieces, just because you do need a little bit of bulk, or all of your like damage dealers at the higher stages of Inferno are going to get one shot, and that's not going to do anything for you. So HP percentage here is fine. You cannot get effect accuracy on these pieces though. So if you're looking for effect accuracy, can't get it. Defense percentage, you also cannot get. So defense, effect accuracy, and attack percentage, you can't get. Everything else is free game. When it comes to your shields can have effect accuracy, they can have effect res, but they cannot have HP percentage, they cannot have attack percentage, and they can't have crit damage. So this is one that's sneaky. When you're rolling gear, especially for damage dealers, whether it's defense or attack, even HP scaling damage dealers, I think you need to prioritize crit damage as a substat because it is not available on one of these pieces, where crit rate you can get on all of the left side pieces of your hero. So crit rate you can have a little bit more abundance of on on your substat rolls. That also means when it comes to these right side pieces, crit damage pieces are extremely valuable. They're extremely valuable. Um, you could go the other way as well, and you could look for crit rate pieces on the right side, and then just try and max roll your crit damage substats on the left side when it comes to your damage dealers. Uh, so yeah, that's something to kind of just keep in mind. As you see here, like the amount of crit rate and crit damage, like right side pieces that I have are pretty abysmal. It's also looking for four sub attributes. So if we have crit rate, we have a little bit more here, and if we do crit damage, we have a little bit more here. But it's not ideal. Attack percentage is okay as a right side piece, especially if you're prioritizing the shell revelation, because it does scale off of your attack percentage when it's calculating the HP of the enemy. So this is still an okay piece as well. But I did want to bring that up. So no crit damage here, as well as flat attack, as well as attack percentage and HP percentage. No defense percentage here, no attack percentage here, and no effect accuracy here. And then up here, we do not have effect res, which you're rarely ever looking for anyway. And then also HP percentage and defense percentage. I was also on the main stat. So sorry about that. So that's how I'm going to go through these pieces like off screen, but I just wanted to walk through a couple of them for you. So here, I'm looking for crit rate, crit damage, speed, and then either flat attack or HP percentage. So this one is a little rough, like something like this. Um, Crit damage, HP, speed, this is awesome. So even uh, if I would have rolled a bad fourth substat, I still probably would have rolled this up to see if I could hit speed or crit damage. But because I rolled flat attack, that's awesome. Like this piece is great. I'll keep this one. And that's what I'll do when I'm shuffling through. Um, Over here, we already got rid of all the flat stat stuff. So I'll look at defense percentage. This is also fine. As I mentioned in my Matrix video, defense scaling damage dealers can wear a 6-piece Keen Eye shell and then put on one piece of Keen Eye gear to give them the crit damage. This doesn't have to be on an attack scaling damage dealer. So defense percentage is also okay over here. HP, you're going to be a little bit more stingy on when it comes to your HP percentage bonuses. Again, because there's very few HP damage dealers in the game. Um, and whether or not you're going to be able to have the luxury of building them with crit damage or HP percentage instead of like looking for crit rate or crit damage, I don't know. So I'll have to come back to that one. So that is what I do with the damage uh, kind of matrices. Now, when it comes to your more universal matrices, so I think Wellspring is pretty universal. Swift Rush is universal. Um, Battle Will is also kind of universal. Time Weave is also universal. All of these pieces, it's going to take you a long time to go through them, pretty much. But like Time Weave, Swift Rush, you can look for defense percent, you can look for effect accuracy, you can look for HP percentage, you can look for attack percentage, you can look for crit rate, crit damage, almost everything is free game on HP. Time Weave, it's going to be more of a support piece. So I would say crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage, it's going to be very limited. However, there are some characters out there that could benefit from the cooldown reduction um, on uh, on their skills and also have a little bit of effect accuracy. There's even like heroes like Yelly and Shiata. They're also okay to have a little bit of effect accuracy on them. You never want effect accuracy as a main stat on the right side piece because you will lose way too many stats and stealing buffs or anything like that. It is not worth you building high effect accuracy. So the same thing kind of goes for Wellspring. I really think that defense percentage here is fine. I think effect accuracy is also fine here as well. But HP percentage is going to be your key piece for sure. What else do we want to go over? The last thing that I think I'll talk about when it comes to gear are these special pieces. So, when it comes to the special pieces, because these are hard to drop and they also just have really good basic uh, matrix effects for just having one piece of gear on here, you can be a lot more lenient on the pieces that you end up keeping here. So for Swift Raid, right? Like I have a crit rate piece here with HP percentage and crit damage. If this was on any other piece, it wouldn't be good. Like effect res and defense, not good. But because it is a valuable main stat that I can throw on a damage dealer to give him more speed and attack, if this rolls HP percentage or crit damage, I'm going to be more than happy, even if it rolls on there 1 or 2 times. Like if it hits effect res and defense 3 or 4 times, that's going to really suck. But this piece, having a valuable right side piece that I can pair and have it do something for the character is awesome. Even when it comes to flat HP, okay? Flat HP on Evil Guard, whoops, flat HP on Evil Guard is also okay. Like if I get speed and defense percent here, this is all right. This gets leveled up, I think, to a pretty viable HP bonus. So if I want to put this on somebody that's not really a main healer, but they get some benefit out of having a little bit of HP on them, um, this is an okay piece to slap on there. When it comes to Swift Raid, flat stats are perfectly fine here because you can put this on a speed booster. As long as it has a speed substat, you're going to want to roll it. Even if it has the 2 substat bonus instead of like 3 or 4 sub attributes, that's obviously ideal. Because this has speed on it, and you have the chance to maybe hit it on the 9 and 12, I think it's worth rolling up to 9 at least to see if you can get one of the speed procs. And if you roll it up to 12 and it hits twice, that might honestly be enough. You might not even have to roll it up to 15 if you want to save the coin. So same thing here, the speed is also there. This piece probably not worth keeping, and then this piece is not worth keeping. But even the flat HP is going to be okay here. Same thing with flat defense. Flat defense on the Swift Raid, as long as it has speed on it, you're going to want to check it. I think that's obvious to some people, but if not, I did want to mention that. Effect accuracy, also okay on Swift Raid, especially if it has speed. You can throw this on, a Casio the Reverie. You can throw this on a Lily. Lily's skill 3 actually values having effect accuracy because you can put your opponent's skills on skill cooldown. You don't always have to use the skill 2. What other heroes? Like any of your debuffers can certainly benefit from effect accuracy as the main stat. Your Greys, your Dynas, your Heinrichs, all of these people would love to wear this piece of gear. I don't have a whole lot of Swift Smite, but because Swift Smite gives speed, it's okay to have like a main stat piece here without, even if it doesn't have speed. Just because the main stat is going to be so valuable in this case with the additional 15% speed and the effect accuracy. Like, again, this is like a really nice piece on someone like a Dyna or a Grey, or again, a Heinrich. What else do I want to go over? The effect res stuff, I think you're probably just speed checking here. Yeah, speed. I'd get rid of that. Effect res on a defense damage scaling hero is okay, but it's going to be rare. And then something like this where you have HP, like again, this is kind of okay for someone that is going to be a tank, although tanks are kind of bad right now because of Revelation. Effect res on a healer is also okay, and all of these substats are also somewhat relevant, but the effect res is going to be a little bit more challenging. Anyway, that's how I'm going to be going through this. This is how I'm going to be leveling up gear. I think the key takeaway here is you need to know that Etheria coin is very rare. You have to be very, very careful with it. If you don't have some of the more perfect substats at my stage in the game. Now, again, if you guys farmed Hell 1 and Hell 2, you can be a little bit more lenient with the things that you leveled up because you're going to have to level stuff up to 12 and 15 to advance into Hell 3 and Hell 4. Once you're farming Hell 4, that's when you get stingy like me. And whenever you're in Inferno, you get even stingier. But just remember that, again, these side pieces here, the left side pieces, on your weapon, remember, your weapon can't roll HP percentage or defense percentage. It also can't roll effect res as your substat. Left side, middle piece, where your HP is, can't roll attack percentage or defense percentage or effect accuracy. And then on your shield, it cannot roll crit damage. Can't roll crit damage, attack percentage, or HP percentage, but it can roll defense percentage here. Anyway, happy rolling. Hope you guys farmed a lot, and I'm finally out of here. See ya.